Hey friend, I'm Wendy McNeil. I'm the founder of Charlie Jane Speakers, and since 2002, I've helped speakers go from, I think I want to speak, to, I just got booked. I'm a Nebraska girl living my dream of working with speakers, and in this podcast, I'm sharing simple strategies and the behind-the-scenes truth about what meeting planners actually respond to. We'll talk about pitches, talk titles, one-sheets, where to find legit opportunities, and the small moves that lead to big results. I'm a wife to my best friend of 35 years, mama to 4 amazing daughters, and nana to 12 grandbabies who totally have Nana's heart. So grab your coffee and let's get into it. Hi there, it's Wendy McNeil here, and thank you for listening in to today's podcast. Today I'm talking about the speaker one sheet that actually helps get you booked. It's going to be a great podcast. First, I'd like to welcome our listeners over to our free Facebook group. It is called Breakthrough Public Speakers. Breakthrough Public Speakers. It is an amazing group, my friends. You will not be disappointed. I will leave the link in the show notes. We have speakers in there. We're over 20,000, I believe, right now. Some of the speakers are just starting, or they're just kind of thinking about joining or, starting their speaking. Some have been in there for well over 30 years. And it is a powerhouse of information and connection, and we do share some speaking opportunities every so often, so you want to check it out. The link will be in the show notes. I was about 15 years old, maybe I was 16, when our house burned down. And I don't say that for shock value. It's just part of my story. We lost everything. But it shaped me in ways that I'm still discovering, honestly. What I remember most about the aftermath wasn't the loss, though the loss was real. It was watching my parents start over, piece by piece, decision by decision, not rebuilding everything at once, just identifying what mattered most and beginning there. There's something clarifying about starting from scratch. When everything is gone, you stop asking, what do I keep? And you start asking, what do I actually need? And I think about that when I work with speakers on their one sheets. I've been also creating one sheets for 16, 17 years. And the reason I think about that is because most speakers have one, or something that resembles one. And yet it's not doing what it's supposed to do. It's not helping get them booked. And when we look at it together, the problem is almost always the same. It was built from what the speaker wanted to say, not from what the event planner needs to see. So let's start from scratch for just a minute. Let's ask the only question that actually matters when it comes to your one sheet. What does an event planner need to feel in order to say yes? That is what you are trying to do. You want the yes. They need to feel like you understand their audience, and that comes through in how you describe who you serve and what shifts for them when they hear you, not in a vague, inspirational way, but in a specific, grounded, this is exactly who I am for way. Your one sheet should speak their language before they have to translate it. They need to feel like you're credible. And here's where speakers often get this wrong. Credibility on a one sheet is not a long list of, every place you have spoken, every credential that you have ever earned. It's the 2 or 3 proof points that are most relevant to her or his event. A testimonial from someone in their industry, a recognizable organization that you've served, a result an audience walked away with. Curated credibility lands harder than comprehensive credibility every time. They need to feel like booking you is easy. That means your one sheet has one clear call to action, not 3 links, not a website and an email and a phone number and a social handle. 1. Make it effortless for her to take that next step. They need to feel all of this very fast. A one sheet that requires effort to read is a one sheet that does not get read. Trust me, I have been working with planners, speakers for 24 years. I know this to be true. Use white space, clean design, a headshot that looks like you actually look. Not one from back in high school and not one from 10 years ago. Okay. These aren't vanity details. They're the difference between a document that works and one that sits in a folder gathering dust. And when my parents rebuilt after the fire, they didn't try to recreate everything they'd lost. They built something intentional, something that fit the life they were actually living. That's what I want for your one sheet. Not a document that tries to include everything, but one that's built with intention around the single job it has to do. Get them to say yes. That's the whole job. You don't need to start over completely, but if your one sheet isn't getting you inquiries or helping you get booked, it might be time to look at it with fresh eyes and ask what you actually need, not just what you've always had. Inside the Charlie Jane Speakers Club, we help you build brand assets that work. And I like to talk about this a lot because I built them inside the membership area. They are super powerful, super cool, AI-powered tools. Again, these are not ChatGPT bots assistants. You do not need a ChatGPT account. These are built into the membership, and they actually help you find the right opportunities to pitch to. So come join us, charliejane.com, CharliJane.com. I do not know at this time when this podcast is released, if we will still be open. We open and close through the year to new members. But if you check us out, we might be open. If not, you can get on the wait list for when we open to new members next. So that is it for today's podcast. And thank you for listening in. Bye.